When I tell you guys, I have been going fucking through it with the technology today. It is 11 o'clock. I have had 2 cups of coffee today already. I am irritable as the fuck right now. Fuck. I'm going to move this right here. Okay. I'm going to get another cup of coffee. Hold the fuck on. Okay. Happy camper? I sure as fuck hope so. Sure as fuck hope so. Oi, oi, oi. All right, guys. Welcome to another episode of Cold Brew Hot Takes. I'm your host, Sam. I'm here to help you have a better day today than you did the day before. Today, we're going to talk about a subject that is crazy, raw, and kind of difficult for me to talk about, which is rejection. I might need some tissues. I'll pause if I need to go do it. Rejection is arguably the most triggering emotion for me. I could go on and on and on. I should probably go to a therapist to talk about it. I don't know, maybe this is a form of therapy for me. I haven't had like deep trauma in my life, but I will say that I have definitely had struggles with not feeling wanted. I've had that in a lot of different situations. I've had it with my family. I've had it in relationships. I've had it with friends. It is a very, very, very difficult thing for me to talk about, but it is something that is crazy raw and something that I have been facing a lot over the last few weeks. And it has significantly impacted my feeling of self-worth. And I know that I'm not alone when I feel this way. I know that it's hard when a lot of people face this, even like on a more regular basis. But today's episode, we're going to talk about kind of just some stuff that I've been going through, how I've been trying to get through it, and let you know that you're not alone when you face this type of feeling and when you are dealing with this level of emotion. And hopefully a little bit of encouragement of how to not let it affect your self-worth. Because rejection is normal. It is a part of life. It is something that none of us are ever able to fully avoid, because whether it's dating, whether it's job interviews, whether it's just asking for something that you want, you're going to be told no. You're going to be told you're not for me. You're going to be told you're not the right candidate. That's okay. You can't be everything to everyone. But it is hard when you feel like you are trying to do everything right, when you are being fair, when you're being authentic, when you are putting yourself out there, being your most vulnerable, and you're still not accepted. Grab your cold brew, grab your hot coffee, maybe grab a tissue or two. I don't know. But let's get started and dive in. All right, guys. Welcome to Cold Brew Hot Takes. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's talk about rejection. I just want to start off by saying you are so not alone in feeling like you fucking do everything, or you really try your fucking best, and people still, it's not good enough for them. It's still not good enough for somebody. It fucking sucks feeling like that. And I want to talk about some things I've been going through and how I've been kind of working through it, because maybe it'll help. But I do want to start off by saying a couple of very important things. I am not a perfect person. I will never claim to be perfect. I will never claim that I'm right about everything. I will never claim that it's my way or the highway. Well, sometimes boundaries are important, but I am a very understanding person. I'm a very non-confrontational person. I'm not saying that every single thing I'm going to tell you on these podcast episodes is the Bible. I'm not going to tell you that if you don't listen to my advice, you're totally fucked. I'm not even going to sit here and try to pretend that I know what I'm talking about half the fucking time. I'm just a girl who is just trying to help even just one person feel a little bit better and less alone, a little bit more motivated, a little bit more empowered, because I needed that. I have needed that. I still need that. And there have been many times in my life where I felt like I am not fucking good enough and there's something wrong with me. And guess what? We are all human beings with flaws and imperfections. It's okay that you can't be everything to everybody, but ultimately you have to still know who you are. You have to know what you stand for. You have to know what you believe in your soul and your being, and be willing to stand by that. We talked about on a recent episode, don't waver your worth, but it's so important to make sure that you are staying so true to yourself. But when you stand 10 toes down on being authentically you and being genuine, comes with people not liking that, people not willing to accept you for who you are, people not understanding you. And with that will come rejection. There was a recent situation. I won't go too deep into it because it's a lot, and this episode will become 60 minutes long. I don't think anybody wants that. But there was a situation recently where I got into a huge argument with my dad. And I don't argue very often. Not with my friends, not with my husband, not with my family. I'm just not an argumentative person. But I stand 10 toes down on my beliefs and my boundaries, especially when it comes to me as a parent and me as a partner. Granted, if I don't believe in something, or if I am not willing to go head to head with somebody about something I'm not 100% passionate about, I'm not 100% certain about, I don't. But when I do, I hold that line. Shout out to my anxiety medication for that, because that's a big thing that I've overcome, and this people pleasing and all of the things, right? But with that, I got into this huge argument with my dad about something very, very passionate and very, very deeply rooted. And he is on one side, I'm on another. I am willing to always listen to people who do not agree with me, who feel differently about things. I believe that, especially in the political landscape, a lot of people fail to listen to the other side and try to understand where they're coming from. To a degree, I understand why people sometimes just don't even want to hear it. But even like my own family, I try my best to hear them out. But without going too deep into it, we had a huge disagreement. He ultimately made a choice to not show up for me and show up for my family for a pretty significant thing. And it cut me really deep. There was a time on the phone, I'm screaming at him. And I told him, I don't ask for anything. I don't ask for money. I don't ask for you to help me with anything. I've always been a self-starter. I figure shit out for myself. This is the one time I ask you to show up. One time I ask you to do something for me, and you can't do it. And it hurt a lot that he still said no. Especially as a parent myself, it hurt so much because for my daughter, she asked something that in her view was so simple. There would be no question I would bend over backwards for my child for pretty much anything that she asked for. She might be asking questions of, well, what happened? Again, I'm not going to get into it because it'll just make this episode crazy fucking long. But it cut me really, really deep because in this moment, this is how it made me feel. I'm asking for something very simple. He didn't want to do it. When I explained my point of view as to why I was asking for something like, just see it from my point of view as a boundary that I have to protect my daughter, to care about her well-being, to just not cause any kind of controversy. Make it about her, not make it about us. He couldn't do that. He didn't want to do that. And ultimately, he chose to not show up for us. Feeling that level of small, feeling rejected, feeling like I'm not important, feeling like I'm being dismissed over my feelings is extremely, extremely triggering for me. Again, it's deeply rooted from feelings like that happening from the time I was a child to today. And it fucking sucked. And I've been dealing with it for the last 6 weeks of the residual feeling that it has left with me. I love my dad. There's nothing that will change that, I think, but there's residual damage from that. And it's hard to deal with. It's hard, especially as a daughter, to feel like I did something wrong. Am I not worthy of love? Am I not worthy of respect? Am I not worthy of being listened to? And it has affected me deeply. I've been dealing with a lot of feelings over the last few weeks regarding the situation. Even beyond that, I've been dealing with some feelings of rejection in the job market lately. I've been feeling like I'm not good enough. I've been feeling like I'm just in a position where I'm not worth what I'm asking for, which I feel like isn't that much. Granted, I know we can never have our cake and eat it too, but it's hard when I feel like I'm not asking for really that much and I'm still getting told no. I was in a position the other day where there was a contract job offer on the table, 7 weeks, 20 hours a week, but they wanted to pay me a flat rate of $2,500 for this, where I'd be managing a team of 7 people, putting together a go-to-market strategy for a major website and app launch, and potentially turning into an executive. But they wanted to pay me a flat rate of $2,500. For those of you who don't feel like doing that math, it is $17.85 an hour. And I said, no, not happening. Granted, they were cuckoo, I think. But it's still that feeling of like, am I asking for too much? Am I just like not worthy of asking for a raise or asking for what I feel like this role actually deserves? I just did that with another role as well. They gave me an offer, but it was so bare bones. When they gave me the offer, said a leadership position. And I'm at that level where I should be considering VP and up. That's where I'm at. I have 15 years of experience. I have deep levels of experience managing people, managing projects, successful projects, all of the things. And they wanted to pay me the level of a manager. To put it into perspective, I made this salary / like the wage that they were presenting 9 years ago when I was in a manager level position. And I said, well, hey, if you want a leader, you want an executive, you want somebody who is willing to go the distance, do the things, be that presence, it's going to cost more. I told them what I was worth, and they replied and they said, we're ending our conversations. We're not considering your candidacy anymore. And that was it. After multiple weeks of conversations, great rapport, clearly a culture fit. That was how they ended it. And again, it made me question my worth. Am I being selfish? Am I asking for too much? Am I just not good enough? Is there something that triggered them? Do they think that I'm a bad person because I've asked for this money? There was a lot of feelings that kind of came with that. And again, the feeling of rejection sucks. Even going back really, really far, there may be some people who get upset that I mention this, but my podcast, I can do whatever the fuck I want. Straight up. I dated somebody long ago, and he cheated on me multiple times. Not physical cheating, but emotional cheating, which, granted, I've never had somebody physically cheat on me before, but when you catch somebody saying to another girl that they are still in love with them, or they are chatting with somebody online and they're talking about how beautiful they are, and they're not saying those types of things to you even remotely, and they're hiding all of these types of things from you, that fucking hurts. That will really fuck up how you feel about yourself and your self-worth. I remember going to people and telling them this is what happened, and multiple people that I loved and trusted, people in my family, people who I was also close to, telling me, you'll get through it. You can get over it. I know people who have had infidelity in their relationships and they've been married for years. It's basically in those moments telling me, yeah, like you're hurt, but get the fuck over it. Like you're not going to find better. And that, again, has me deeply impacted in my feelings of rejection and how I deal with feeling rejected and how I try to get over it. So fast forward to today. How am I feeling today after going through these types of things all throughout my life, recently, and then even just fucking yesterday? Well, first of all, I want to tell you, it's hard to deal with because, again, this is the most triggering emotion for me. It is the most triggering feeling of feeling like I am not good enough. People don't want to be around me. People don't want to take the time to get to know me or trust in me, show up for me, love me. That fucking sucks. But I try to go back and remember who the fuck I am. Here's where the tissues might come into play, but I'm going to try my best to not cry. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am confident. I am lots of things. I'm educated. I'm witty. I'm creative. I'm funny. I really do think I'm funny. Sometimes I don't know if people actually give me credit for it, but I do think I'm funny. And if somebody can't show up for me or see that, or I'm just not somebody's cup of tea, then let them go. Whether it's a parent, whether it's a friend, whether it's a partner, whether it's a job, whatever it is, if somebody can't see my worth, then that's their problem and not mine. And it has taken me a really long time to get to that conclusion. And I'm not saying that every day that I feel rejected or unwanted or I get that feeling in me and I say, oh, well, that's their problem, not mine. It's not a knee-jerk reaction, but I'm learning to have that reaction more quickly and to understand, like, that's life. The world will go around and the heart will still beat and things are still going to continue on, even if this feels like a little bit of a setback. My advice for you, if you have been feeling this way, or if you are struggling with feelings of rejection, I want you to remember who the fuck you are. I'm sure there are so many good qualities about you. I'm sure that you are lots and lots of good things. And I want you to remember, not everybody is your cup of tea. And you're not everybody's cup of tea. In another episode, we talk about your inner circle and who you want to surround yourself with. And you want to surround yourself with people who believe in you, who trust you, who love you just the way you are. And again, nobody's perfect. Everybody has flaws. We are all human. I am included in that. I am even just grateful that you are listening to this podcast and give a shit at all of what I have to say and hoping that maybe it'll resonate with you. Maybe it'll make you feel better. Maybe it'll help you have a better day today than you did the day before. That's the hope of it all. I'm grateful for that you are trusting another imperfect, flawed human being with giving you such advice and helping you through situations. But ultimately, what we believe in ourselves is what matters the most. I want you to know that not everybody is always going to be in your corner. Not everybody is always going to be cheering you on. Not everybody is going to be perfect in how they treat you. And not everybody is always going to be 100% in supporting you. I am definitely somebody who gives people grace. I try my best to give people the grace of understanding where they're coming from. That, again, they were flawed and imperfect and allowed to feel certain things. But I also know that after so long, I have to be the person to say, well, I still have to believe in myself. And I still have to be my own advocate and my own best friend in a way, because if I don't have that, then it's easy to lose who we are in the process. So if you are feeling rejected, if you're feeling those feelings of being unwanted or disrespected or unheard, you're not alone. I want you to understand that you are worthy of all of those things, period. Don't let people get the best of you when that happens. And I know that that's easier said than done, but remember who the fuck you are. Remember that you have so many good qualities about yourself. Look in the mirror today and try to tell yourself all of those things about you that you love. And I know that that is so uncomfortable to do at first, but I'm telling you, it does make a difference. Doing these daily affirmations or even like every other day, as often as you can. Even if you take a sticky note and slap it on your bathroom mirror saying, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I am confident, I am witty, I am creative, I am worthy of love, I deserve good things, all of those things. Just saying that, I promise you, and I'm sure this is scientifically backed somewhere, that will make a difference, and you will start feeling a lot better about yourself, even in those times where you feel like maybe you're kind of disconnected from those feelings and you are relishing more in those feelings of rejection. But that's got to go away. It's up to you to remind yourself again of who the fuck you are. So do your best to do some affirmations today. Do your best to remind yourself that you are worthy of all of those things that you're feeling rejected of. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of a good job. You're worthy of respect. You're worthy of the things that you deserve and that you've worked hard for. Go back and listen to that other episode of owning your worth and not wavering from it, because that was a direct tie into something like this. Well, you guys, thanks for listening today. This was a subject that was a hard one for me to talk about, as I'm sure you could tell. I have not had to grab the tissues, so it's a positive. But I do appreciate you all listening and caring about what I have to say, even if it's just a handful of you. Hopefully this podcast will continue to grow. We can reach more people, but all I care about is maybe helping even just one person. So thanks for being here and thanks for listening. Follow and subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify, and then also rate us on Spotify. That is a huge help. And then share our socials, share our Spotify recordings, share all of those things, because the more you spread the word, the more people that we can probably help and give a little bit more of a brighter insight and help them start their day just a little bit better than they did yesterday. But anyway, thanks for joining. Have a great day. Go get yourself a refill, and we'll catch you next time.